AITA for refusing to invite my sister to my wedding after she publicly humiliated me and my fiancé. This is a long one, so buckle up. I, 28F, have been with my fiancé, Jake, 30M, for about 4 years now. We met in college and have been inseparable ever since. We recently got engaged, and the wedding planning is underway. I've been excited to share this with my family, especially my sister, Emma, 26F. But things took a turn, and now I'm seriously questioning if I should even invite her to the wedding. Here's some background on my relationship with Emma. Growing up, we were close, but also competitive. Our parents always compared us, which only fueled that rivalry. Emma is a bit of a social butterfly and has always loved being the center of attention. I'm more reserved, so we naturally clashed a lot. Over the years, we've had ups and downs, but I always hoped she'd be there for me when it counted. Fast forward to a few months ago. Jake and I announced our engagement at a family dinner. Everyone was happy except Emma, who barely acknowledged it. She made a sarcastic comment about how finally someone could put up with you, and laughed it off. It stung, but I let it slide because I wanted to avoid drama. Then came the engagement party, which I planned to be a small, intimate affair with close family and friends. I was careful about the guest list because I wanted it to be low-key. Emma wasn't happy about this. She accused me of excluding her deliberately and made a scene in front of my extended family, loudly complaining that I was snubbing her and that she should be the star of the event since she's my sister. I tried to explain that the party was meant to be small and personal, not about anyone being the center of attention. But Emma wasn't hearing it. She stormed out, saying she wouldn't bother coming to any future events. At that point, I was upset but still hopeful she'd come around. Then, last weekend, Jake and I went out for a casual dinner with some friends. Emma somehow found out and showed up uninvited. She demanded to know why she wasn't invited and proceeded to loudly criticize everything, from the restaurant choice to the fact that Jake wasn't good enough for me. She said it right in front of Jake and our friends. I was mortified. Jake was shocked and hurt. I asked her to leave, but she refused, creating an even bigger scene until the restaurant manager stepped in. The next day, she posted on social media about how disappointed she was in me and how she can't believe I'm choosing a stranger over family. She made sure to tag me and Jake in the post. The comments were nasty, with some of my distant relatives even taking her side. After all this, I told Emma I didn't want her at the wedding. She called me selfish and cruel, saying I was overreacting and that family should stick together no matter what. My parents are caught in the middle and keep telling me to make peace for the sake of family. I feel like my sister crossed a line multiple times. Public humiliation, disrespect toward my fiancé, and just blatant rudeness. I don't want her at my wedding because I want it to be a happy day, not a drama-filled disaster. But my parents say I should forgive and forget, and that it's my big day, so I should include her no matter what. So, Reddit, am I the asshole for refusing to invite my sister to my wedding after everything she's done? Or should I swallow my pride and let her come for the sake of family harmony? If you enjoyed the video, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe to the channel. It helps the content grow and motivates me to create even more great videos. Turn on notifications so you don't miss any new uploads. By the way, I'm curious, when do you usually watch my videos? While working, studying, or just relaxing at home? Let me know in the comments. I'd love to hear from you. Thank you for your support. AITA for refusing to attend my sister's wedding because of the dress code she imposed. I, 28F, have always had a complicated relationship with my sister, Sarah, 32F. We grew up close, but as we got older, our differences became more pronounced. She's a very traditional person who values appearances and social status, while I'm more laid back and prioritize authenticity over formality. Despite this, I've always tried to support her. Recently, Sarah got engaged and immediately started planning an extravagant wedding. From the beginning, I was excited for her and eager to help where I could, but as the planning progressed, things started to feel less like a celebration and more like a stressful chore. The main issue arose when Sarah sent out the invitations. Along with the usual details, she included a very specific dress code. It wasn't just formal or black tie. She mandated that all female guests wear a specific style and color of dress, a pastel pink midi dress with sleeves, no exceptions, and all male guests had to wear tuxedos with a certain bow tie color. The dresses were only available at one boutique in a neighboring city, which was quite expensive and didn't offer returns or exchanges. She even went so far as to require all guests to send a photo of their outfit in advance for approval. I found this request a little extreme, but I thought maybe she just wanted everything to look cohesive for pictures. I didn't complain initially, even though I knew the dress would be uncomfortable and the cost was steep. When I brought it up to my fiancé, Mike, 30M, he agreed it was over the top, but said we could manage it. He suggested we buy the dress and tux anyway to keep peace. However, when I looked closer at the dress, I realized it was not something I could wear comfortably. The material was itchy, the sleeves tight, and the style clashed with my body type. On top of that, I have a skin condition that makes certain fabrics painful, and this dress was one of them. I told Sarah about this, explaining my concerns, and asking if I could pick a different dress in the same color or maybe a slightly different style that would still match the wedding theme. She immediately shut me down, saying the dress was non-negotiable and part of her vision. She also told me she didn't want me to stand out or ruin the aesthetic of the wedding photos. I tried to reason with her, reminding her that I'm her sister and that attending the wedding in something that would cause me physical discomfort wasn't reasonable. She accused me of being selfish and dramatic and said that if I cared about her, I would make the sacrifice. I started to feel really hurt and upset. To me, this was less about a dress and more about control and rigidity. I love my sister, but I couldn't imagine spending my wedding day uncomfortable and unhappy just to satisfy an unrealistic dress code. I told her I wouldn't attend if I couldn't wear a dress that was comfortable and safe for me. Sarah reacted very negatively. She sent a long text accusing me of ruining the family celebration, being impossible, and making everything about myself. She said my absence would be noticed and hurtful, and that I was choosing a dress over family. At this point, Mike suggested I stand my ground but also try to smooth things over. I sent Sarah a message offering to help in other ways with the wedding, like organizing a bridal shower or helping with invitations, as a gesture of goodwill. I also offered to attend if she would compromise on the dress or let me wear a similar pastel pink dress that wouldn't cause me harm. Sarah ignored my message. The tension between us grew worse, and a few family members started asking me why I wasn't attending the wedding. I explained the situation honestly, and while some sympathized, others sided with Sarah, saying I should have just worn the dress or compromised for family's sake. In the end, I told Sarah I would not attend the wedding unless she changed her stance on the dress code. She replied by saying I was disinvited and that she didn't want drama at her wedding. I'm now facing a family split over this, with many people telling me I should just get over it or put my foot down for the sake of the family, and others telling me I was right to stand up for myself and my health. So, AITA for refusing to attend my sister's wedding because she wouldn't let me wear a comfortable dress that I could tolerate. AITA for refusing to invite my sister to my wedding because of her behavior over the last few years. This has been brewing for a while, and I honestly need an outside perspective because my family is divided and the situation is getting really messy. I, 30F, am getting married next year, and the planning has been both exciting and stressful. My fiancé, 32M, and I have been together for 5 years, and after several postponements, thanks pandemic, we finally set a date. The main issue revolves around my older sister, Laura, 35F. To give some context, Laura and I were really close growing up. We shared a lot, supported each other through hard times, and even lived together during college. But things started changing about 4 years ago when she went through a rough patch, a nasty breakup, job losses, and some personal struggles. Instead of seeking help or trying to rebuild, she started pushing everyone away, including me. The first big red flag was when she ghosted me for months after my birthday. No calls, texts, nothing. When she finally resurfaced, she was defensive and accused me of not caring enough about her. I tried to be understanding, but was hurt by the silence. Things never fully recovered, and over time, she began lashing out at family gatherings, making snide comments and passive-aggressive remarks. Fast forward to now. Laura has become a source of stress rather than support. She frequently posts controversial opinions on social media, often about family matters, and has openly criticized my parents and me. For example, she once made a public post about feeling betrayed by our family after she didn't get a promotion, insinuating that we were jealous and unsupportive. It was hurtful and created a lot of tension. Most recently, my fiancé and I announced our engagement on social media. Laura commented with a sarcastic remark about how she can't wait to be the last person invited and how some people only care about appearances. It was immature and unnecessary. When I reached out to talk, she doubled down, claiming I was excluding her by not asking for her input on the wedding plans. Now, here's where it gets complicated. When it came time to create the guest list, my fiancé and I agreed to invite people who genuinely wanted to celebrate with us and who would contribute positively to the day. Given Laura's recent behavior, we debated whether or not to invite her. We wanted to avoid drama, but also felt like family was important. I ultimately decided not to invite her. Instead, I sent her a message explaining that due to our strained relationship and to keep the day peaceful, we thought it best not to have her there. I also invited her to a one-on-one lunch after the wedding to reconnect. The response was explosive. Laura called me selfish, cruel, and said I was erasing her from the family. She told my parents that I'm punishing her for things she doesn't remember or for old wounds that I'm refusing to heal. My parents are torn. They want me to include her, but also want the wedding to be happy and drama-free. My fiancé is fully supportive of my decision and has told me to prioritize our day and mental health. However, a few relatives have reached out to say I should reconsider, arguing that family bonds should override conflicts, especially for something like a wedding. I don't feel bad for excluding Laura. She's treated me poorly, and I don't want to risk her ruining what should be a joyful occasion. But I also feel the weight of the family pressure, and it's causing me a lot of stress. So Reddit, AITA for refusing to invite my sister to my wedding because of her behavior over the last few years?